We got PSA, GMA, CSG, SGC, Sports Collectors Digest, Mint Grading, and lastly, Beckett. Today we are making a video on seeing what graded card companies cases can make it through being submerged in water. And after that, we're going to put all the cards through our clothes washer and see if that affects it at all. One reason we are making this video is because we wanted to get some cards graded and wasn't really sure what company to use. And we know once we get them graded, we're going to keep them for a very long time. And so better try and get them in a case that's most protective. And I've seen many different card grading companies and they all look unique in their own way. And from first glance, I always thought CSG and SGA and PSA would probably be one of the picks I would choose to get it graded from. But yeah, it's important, I feel like, to know if water can infiltrate the case because over time, if let's say a water droplet got inside the case, it eventually just ruined the card, and don't want to make a mistake that I look back on and be like, why did I go with this grading company than a different one? With all the cards in the water, they all float except the SGC one, and that is not a good sign for them. We now put a can of bean on all the cards to make sure they are sinking and submerged under water. The SGC one is already sunk, so they have to put a weight on that one. The can of bean weighs about 14.5 ounces. Looks like air bubbles forming inside the PSA one, which is not a good thing. And air bubbles forming around the side of the SGC. This is about 2.5 hours in, and we're about doing 5 hours total underwater. Let's see what happens when we take them out. Now to take the cards out. Looks like most of them I think will pass. The two warning sides for me would be the PSA and the SGC, which is interesting because they're like the two top card graders out there. But I'm gonna give them a dry off and see what they look like. So on the SGC, it looks like a little bit of water has formed around the side of the card. And after 5 hours, that's a little concerning. But if you just threw it in a cup of water real quick, it'd survive. For the Sports Collectors Digest, it looks like it passed. No water leaked through. Check out the back and nothing. Now, I was worried about the PSA one, but it was just an air bubble on the surface of the card after being dried off. PSA passed and looks like to be no water leaking in, which is good because I was worried about the card. Check out the back, and PSA is on the list to possibly get graded. Next is the CSG, and this one failed. On the right side, you can see water droplets come in, and from this angle, the surface of the card can definitely tell water absorbed into it. Check out the back, and you can probably see it better. In the middle and the bottom of the card, where you see darkening of the card, is where the water got soaked. So, I guess the player's name is Drew Waters. It's kind of ironic. And CSG fails. The next one is GMA, and this one's obvious. This one failed the test as well. Water leaked in pretty bad. There's water on the surface of the card and all in the back of the card. GMA definitely so far has had the worst results. Mint grading appears to have passed. No water sign, and on the back, no water as well. And finally, Beckett. Looks like everything appears to be good. No water on the sides or on the surface of the card or leak from the top. Check out the back. All appears well. What we have next is the final test. That, seeing if they can survive the washer. The washer for 30 minutes. See what happens. After the washer, the SGC one got destroyed. You could tell easily from the back that water got in. The whole card is soaked, damaged. If you had like a flood in your house or something like that, your card would be no more. The GMA one got destroyed even worse. You can see water everywhere, the top of the card, everything's crinkled. On the back, yeah, this card wouldn't survive in a harsh condition as well. GMA fails. Pretty bad. PSA one after the washer, just like the first test, it passed and nothing appears to be wrong with the card. The back, no water got in at all. Mint grading, like the first test, passed as well. Survived the washer and check the back and yep, same as usual. Beckett, like the first test as well, passed. Nothing new to report. Check out the back. No water got in. Would be a good option to get your cards graded with. This one, guess they made them pretty good back in the day because no water got in this one as well. Check out the back. No water in the card. Finally, the CSG failed the first test, so card didn't get too much worse in the washer, just a little more dampening of the card. Card's obviously ruined. CSG fails the test, both tests. Will not be grading with them. Very disappointed. So we have the passes and the fails. Now to recap, Beckett passes, PSA passes, Sports Collectors Digest passes, and Mint Grading passes. And the failures, GMA, CSG, and SGC. All failures. Pretty surprised by the results. I thought these three would be the ones that pass and the older style graded cards would falter, but wasn't the case. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helps you choose what companies you want to use to get your cards graded.